Welcome back to Euro Football Daily for this week's edition of Euro Transfer Talk. We're entering the final fortnight of the summer window, so with everything soon to reach a climax, let's check out the biggest stories of the last 7 days. So once again we are starting in Barcelona, who seem to be doing their best to remain in the headlines, with their transfer business overshadowed by everything else going on off the pitch. The club were barely able to register their new signings ahead of the season opener, a 0-0 at home to Rayo Vallecano, and they still continue to look to ways to either A. raise some quick funds by pulling a few economic levers, or B. offload players to bring their wage bill under control. And as everyone will surely be aware by now, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is the latest name to be linked with a move away. Chelsea are interested in bringing the 33-year-old back to the Premier League, just 6 months after he left Arsenal to complete his once-in-a-lifetime move to the Blaugrana, even though Mikel Arteta was more than happy to see the back of the Gabonese international after a number of disciplinary issues. Upon his move to the Camp Nou last season, Aubameyang earned just over €2 million with the side, but that is expected to have risen as high as €18 million ahead of this campaign. If he did receive this bump to €350,000 a week, as was reported in April, it would make him one of the highest earners in La Liga. And with Robert Lewandowski now on board, would turn the former Dortmund player into a key player to get rid of amidst their problems. Chelsea made a €15 million bid according to Deportivo Mundo. However, Gerard Romero has said that Barcelona are holding out for €28 million for Aubameyang, who netted 13 goals in 23 appearances last season. However, as you'd perhaps expect, he is keen on remaining with the club, despite starting on the bench and featuring for just 8 minutes the weekend. Thomas Tuchel is of course looking for a new striker, having seen both Romelu Lukaku and Timo Werner leave this window, with the German coach opting to use new signing Raheem Sterling in a more advanced role in Sunday's 2-2 draw with London rivals Spurs. Tuchel and Aubameyang obviously have history, with the striker scoring 79 goals and setting up 17 more in just 95 games for Tuchel between 2015 and 2017. So there's definitely a connection. But we want to hear from you. Do you think Chelsea will make this transfer happen? And if they do, will Aubameyang be able to replicate his peak form? Let us know in the comments section below. Well, guess what? Barcelona are still looking to add to their squad, as right-back becomes the latest position the Blaugrana plan to address. As it stands, Xavi has either Segino Dest or Sergio Roberto to pick from in that role, but on Saturday the Spaniard chose neither, instead opting to start natural centre-back Ronald Araujo at full-back, although Roberto would come on for the last half hour. Man United and Chelsea are both said to be interested in American international Dest, who signed from Ajax for €21 million in 2020. However, the 21-year-old has no intentions of negotiating for a move away, instead wanting to fight for his place, despite not even being included in the squad for the Vallecano game, with the club's decision to move him on being a technical one instead of one motivated by finances. Barcelona have drawn up a shortlist of 5 right-backs, and perhaps trying to capitalise on Man United's interest in Dest, it includes both Diego Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, again according to Gerard Romero. With 23-year-old Dalot, who signed from Porto for €22 million in 2018, having leaped above his teammate in the pecking order over the last 12 months, a trend that has continued under Erik ten Hag, the club are far more open to letting AWB leave Old Trafford after a difficult 3 years. The former Crystal Palace Player of the Year has remained a benchwarmer for United so far this season, not setting a foot on the pitch in either of his side's Premier League fixtures. No fee has been quoted for the former England under-21 international, but with a transfermarkt valuation of €25 million, less than half of what he was bought for in 2019, he's not dissimilarly valued to the €20 million rated Dest. Also on Barcelona's shortlist is Jeremy Frimpong of Bayer Leverkusen, Villarreal's Juan Foyth, and Borussia Dortmund's Thomas Meunier, with the latter two thought to be the most likely to end up in Catalonia. Presuming Barcelona pull off a move for a right-back, who do you think they are most likely to sign? And do you think they even need to invest in one considering everything else going on at the club? Answers in the comments section, please. One of the more eyebrow-raising rumours to emerge over the past week is one that links Man United's Marcus Rashford with Paris Saint-Germain. It was reported by The Times that the French champion's sporting director Luis Campos has already held talks with the player's entourage, and that the 24-year-old, as you'd expect, is open to such a move. Rashford is coming off his worst season in front of goal as a professional, scoring just 4 Premier League goals in 25 appearances, one less than his breakthrough campaign as an 18-year-old, where he found the net 5 times in just 11 league games. But despite an underwhelming campaign, he's likely to be a regular under ten Hag, having played the full 90 in both matches so far. However, the England international has just 1 year left on his current contract at Old Trafford, although the club could extend it by a year, and Rashford could be open to a fresh start, especially if PSG plan to play him in his preferred position. It is suggested that squad builder Campos views him as a striker, with the former Lille sporting director believing that Rashford's stalled progress is mostly down to United shifting him around the front three, not letting him settle in a single position. So whilst the move sounds like it could be a dream for Rashford, Man United aren't going to let him go easily. According to ESPN, PSG would be prepared to go up to £60 million to secure his services. However, his current employers value him at double that. We doubt even PSG would bend to United's demands, but nonetheless they remain keen to get hold of him this window if they can, although they surely wouldn't complain if they could get him for a free in 12 months' time. If you want to keep up with this story, you can do so by checking out Sky Sports' transfer centre right here. Sticking with both PSG and Man United now, as Le Parisien could provide an answer for the Red Devils' troubles up front, although it would be yet another stopgap for Erik ten Hag's side. That's because the player in question is 29-year-old Mauro Icardi, who's been little more than a backup option for PSG since first arriving there on loan in 2019. Whilst the Argentine scored 20 goals across all competitions in 2019-20, he's only managed 18 in the 2 years since. And with Mbappe, Messi and Neymar all obviously ahead of him in the pecking order, and his lack of versatility holding him back, it looks like he could be heading for the exit door. And that's been proved in the first 2 games of this campaign, with new manager Christophe Galtier leaving him out of both of his squads. Rumours had circulated earlier this window that his representatives had held conversations with newly promoted Serie A side Monza, just around the corner from former home Inter Milan. However, it's now Man United who lead the race for Icardi. Cristiano Ronaldo's future at Old Trafford is uncertain, whilst Anthony Martial is sidelined with injury, leaving Ten Hag short of options, with none of his players yet to find the back of the net this season. They did of course pursue Bologna's Marco Arnautovic last week, but pulled out after failing to agree a fee with the 33-year-old side. Is Icardi the right player for United to be targeting? And if he isn't, who should they go for instead? Let us know in the comments section. Now on to Lyon's Houssem Aouar, who after years of being linked with some of Europe's elite clubs, finally appears to be moving on. But instead of heading to Arsenal or Juventus, 2 sides that were rumoured to be long interested in the 24-year-old, it looks like he could actually be on his way to Premier League new boys Nottingham Forest. As reported by Gianluca Damasio, Steve Cooper's side emerged as favourites over the weekend ahead of both Leicester City and Real Betis, although the Spanish side have found themselves hamstrung by La Liga's financial regulations. Forest, however, have no such issues, with chairman Evangelos Marinakis, a Greek media mogul and also owner of Olympiakos, already greenlighting over €120 million worth of transfers, with 50 new players joining the ranks at the City Ground this summer. After ejecting fees topping €50 million from Arsenal in 2020, it now looks like Aouar could be on the move for just €15 million, with the one-time French international's agent also having provisionally agreed on personal terms with Forest. However, it's not quite as simple as that, with the midfielder not entirely being convinced of the switch, stalling on the move with the hope that a more enticing opportunity will come up. Regardless if he ends up in the East Midlands or not, it looks like Aouar's 13 years with his hometown club is coming to an end, with Lyon still keen on selling their number 8, so not to lose him for nothing next summer. And if Forest do manage to pull this off, Reds fans will start to be feeling more hopeful they can avoid relegation this campaign. So guys, that was Euro transfer talk for another week. What did you guys think of the stories? Let me know in the comments down below. Personally, I cannot believe that Aouar is going to Nottingham Forest. Amazing if they manage to pull it off. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to EFD, and I'll catch you later in the week.